2019, I found myself working at a sales, marketing and promotions company over in Bukoto near Victory City Church, Kanase Consultants. And for a while, I did projects there on and off from my S4 vacation up until well past even graduating from law school. So at that point in my life, I was doing that sales gig at Kanase Consultants, and then I was also gigging musically at Le Chateau in Zambia. That was my main gig with my big brother, David. So fast forwarding, I reached a point where I resigned from Kanase Consultants, and then I found that the gig I had going on at Le Chateau was like my one job at that time. It was the constant source of money for me because it was a regular gig. So every single week, 2 days in a week, I was out there working and I was making money that my family desperately needed. But now here comes March 28th, 2020, the day that COVID got real for me and for a lot of us. How did it get real? My job was temporarily suspended because it fell under the entertainment category. So now out of the blue, I found myself jobless, unemployed. I had nothing going on for myself, and yet I had responsibilities that needed me, to cover rent, yaka, water bills. You know how crazy the home setting can get. So I realized that I was just stuck. But then the good thing is, prior to that, I feel like God had been preparing me for what I did not know was coming, which was the lockdown and the loss of that job at that time. So I remember one evening I was just seated at home and a thought crossed my mind, and the thought was, Sandra, what if you lose your job? What if you're just like this, put in a space where you don't have a job, you don't have a source of income? See how 6 months later, COVID hits, and indeed my job was temporarily suspended and I was jobless. So it got me thinking about how comfortable I had become with this one thing that I had going on for me. And if you're the person who I'm speaking to, then if you're at a job and you feel like you've just become so comfortable, or if you're living life and you feel like you're just going by, like morning comes, nighttime comes, time flies by, and you don't really have anything to show for the time that is passing by, then this episode is perfect for you, because I'm going to be sharing today how you can be productive with your time, which for me became a reality again when lockdown became intense and we were forced to stay at home. And for a lot of us, that meant that we had so much time on our hands, and it finally put us in a space where we were triggered to think about all the aspects of our lives. Spiritually, where did we stand with God? At least I thought about it. Where was I with my relationship with God? Socially, where was I, standing with my friends and with my family? Were they for me? Did I have real relationships going for me? Or was I surrounded by fake people? And whatever the scenario was, what was I going to do about it then? Emotionally, I found myself in a space where I felt like all these years have passed and what do I have to show for it? What have I done of all the things that I actually want to do? Nothing, zero. So there I was with a lot of time on my hand, and what had I accomplished? I was 29 years of age, but what did I have? And it's not that I have nothing to give. It's because in spite of all of that, I had fed myself with excuses as to why I couldn't do this or that. But now finally I was in a space where all I had was time. But how was I going to make this time work for the best? In today's episode, I'll be sharing only 3 tips on how I have learned how to be more productive by making better use of my time. And this episode is for you, whether you're a stay-at-home kind of worker or you're a worker who reports to your job like 9 to 5. It matters not. If you're in a space where you want to stop merely existing, if you're in a space where you want to make your time count, you only have 24 hours in a day, what have you done with them? Then my friend, this is the episode for you. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. So now that you have a little bit of the background story to this episode, why I am very passionate about covering how you and I can be productive by making better use of our time, I'll go ahead and, dive straight into the 3 tips. So tip number 1 is create some sort of routine. So yesterday while I was sharing with my husband, about today's episode, I asked him if he had a routine, and then he told me no, he doesn't have a routine, but he knows how to structure his time during his day so that he's efficient and productive. And then it got me thinking, does this mean that if you don't have a routine, you cannot be productive? I would say no, because we all operate different ways, but I will strongly say that having some sort of routine gives you a better structure to your day and how you use your time. So this got me thinking, preparing for this, it got me thinking about 3 questions that I want you to ask yourself. 1, what do you do with your AMs? What do you do with your mornings? 2, what do you do with your PMs? That is your evenings and your afternoons. And sometimes, yes, what do you do with your nights? So for example, for myself in my household, my AMs are basically more focused on my daughter, Maria, and my husband, Frank. So it will have me waking up in the morning. Where he's concerned, I'll cook lunch for him to pack for the day. Where she's concerned, she also has a routine that is structured into my day. What do I mean? When she wakes up, she'll probably lay her bed, take a shower, brush her teeth, have breakfast, and then her AMs after that are schoolwork focused. I love you and I'm so proud of you. Thank you. What's your name? Tell my viewers what your name is.
Maria, Margaritis, Aneno, Ariana, Afenda, Maria.
Well done, thank you. And how old are you?
3.
And how many years are you turning this year in August?
4.
Oh, you're going to be a big girl, aren't you?
Or be a big one. Like noon, like flower.
Okay, very good. We focus. Mama's questions. You ready?
Yes.
What are your goals for the year? By the time you turn 4, what are you supposed to be able to do, or at least to have a good handle on doing?
Yes.
Tell me.
How old are you, Mama?
Well, Mama is 30.
And how will you turn in August?
I'll turn 31 in September. But we're not talking about my age, baby. I want you to talk about your goals, your routine. By the time you're 4, you're supposed to know how to read, how to
draw.
How
to color.
Yes. Color. Just to color, or how to color within
the wine. First, wait. I'll put something in my video. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Okay. Thank you, baby. Your routine is you have to lay your
bed,
brush your
teeth,
have your
breakfast,
and then after you do your schoolwork, because you have goals.
And make you better.
Yes.
And go somewhere with Daddy.
I have goals, you know about that. I've covered an episode on creating a vision board that is empowering, and my 3-year-old daughter turning 4 in August also has goals, and these goals form part of her daily routine under schoolwork in the mornings. So what do I do with my afternoons? My afternoons right now, since Maria is kind of in school, morning schoolwork, in the afternoon she'll probably play, which now gives me more time to focus on Sandra related goals. So my afternoons, especially when I'm home, will be centered around creating content for #everythingmama, doing any work related with Sandra and Aneno music. Like right now I have about 3 weddings coming up that I need to focus on. So that is forming part of my afternoon routine. And then I'll definitely also have time to, look into what I'm going to, I start preparing for the next day. My late PMs into my evenings. My evenings, my routine will center around more family business, making sure that Maria's needs are covered, everybody, is fed. And then once everybody is off to bed, sometimes I work into the night preparing for the next day so that the next day is better efficient. So tip number 1 on how you can be more productive, whether at home or at work, is by creating some sort of routine. What do you do when you wake up? What do you do with your afternoons, and what do you do with your evenings? You'll put yourself in a space where your time is better catered for. If you have, for example, 2 hours of your time that are not attached to any activity, you'll find yourself just lagging by. Those 2 hours will go by and you haven't done anything productive with those 2 hours of your day, which, by the way, you cannot get back. So tip number 1, go ahead and create a routine, which will give some sort of structure to your daily ins and outs. Tip number 2, set boundaries on phone usage. Now, I'm not saying that you're guilty of this, but I'm saying that I have been guilty of giving too much time to social media. So the boundaries that I'll be talking about are in relation to social media. Okay, for myself, a while back, maybe like a year, I logged onto my WhatsApp and I responded to a message about 2 days after it had been sent. So when I replied, the gentleman in response asked me, Sandra, you've responded so late. What's up these days? Do you intentionally not be online? And I love that he used the word intention, because yes, the answer was yes. I caught myself in a space where I was spending so much time on social media, which is not bad. You can be on social media and be doing something productive. But for me, then, I was on social media not really doing anything productive to my life or my future. So when I caught myself that, oh my God, 3 hours of my day will just blow by, and there I was on Facebook doing what? Watching dog videos, watching cat videos, and that's time I cannot get by. So when I caught myself and I knew that I wanted to do better with my day, I wanted to do better with my time, I started structuring how much time I spend on my phone, especially where social media is concerned. Why am I on social media? How long am I on social media for? What am I posting on social media? Is it really necessary? Who am I talking to on social media? And is that conversation beneficial to me? Yes, I had to go that hard on myself. So I slowly started to put myself into a space where if I did not need to be on social media, besides, phone calls are much easier anyway. With a phone call, you can solve whatever issue is there just like this. But messages and WhatsApp, I'm not saying they are bad, but you can't control how long the other person is online, if they're going to be online today. But with a phone call, just pick up your phone, call the person and get it over with. So I put myself in a space where I'm only on social media for reasons that are beneficial. Now that Sandra's Kitchen is up and running, I'm slowly getting myself into that zone where my response time is fast, especially to my business-related conversations. But other than that, I know why I'm online. I set the times that I'm online and what I am doing on them. So even for you, if you want to make better usage of your time and in essence be more productive, then it might be time for you to look into how much time you spend on your phone, what you're doing while you're on your phone, and slowly begin to set boundaries that give you more time to focus on you and what you do and the levels at which you want to live life at. So my last tip today is kind of related to number one, but I want to address it as a tip on its own, which is to have a daily to-do list. So because I've been talking to you about goals, about creating your vision, you know that I have goals that I set weekly, monthly, quarterly, annually, but I go deep as far as creating a daily to-do list. Why? A daily to-do list, first of all, helps me to think ahead. Like right now, I already know how my day is structured for tomorrow. I know it is God who grants us life, and I pray He grants me life to wake up tomorrow and go after the things that I already know I am going to do tomorrow. A daily to-do list helps me to plan better for my day, which ultimately translates into me making better use of my time. And once I do that, I become more productive at the things that actually matter. Perhaps this daily to-do list could also help you. So if you're like me, in the past year, I put myself in a space where I only leave home when I must. And it is something that I stand by. The onset of COVID showed me that you don't really have to leave home. You can work at home and still be efficient if you work smart. So I only leave home on occasions when I must. For example, today I had to leave home because I'm shooting for #everythingmama. I'll only leave home if I have a meeting that I know is important and beneficial to me, whether it is social or business related. As so long as it's important to me and is absolutely necessary, I'll leave home for that. I'll leave home for maybe a visit to the bank or to run market errands. So as you can see, I'm not just leaving home for no, because leaving home, one, involves transport costs. Two, it will involve some expenses that miscellaneous. So instead of venturing into all of that, why not stay home and do what you need to do from home? You can still be productive. But if you're the kind that reports to a 9-to-5 job, still have a daily to-do list. If it is responding to emails, put it in there. If it's a meeting you need to have, put it in your daily to-do list so that you know you have a better grasp on how you're spending your time and you can better track your performance. So, as we slowly come to the end of this video, I need to very delicately address why it is important to make better use of your time, especially when it involves other parties. If it's not just you. Making better use of your time helps you to maintain better relationships all round. Why? Because no one likes to be kept waiting. No one likes to be kept waiting. I was late for my shoot today by about 30 minutes, which brings in the aspect of accountability. When you make better use of your time, you're going to be punctual. During the course of your day, you're going to show up on time where you need to go. So today I didn't actually use my time very well. So I've caught myself. I was late, but when other people are involved, if you're running late or if you're abruptly unable to show up, please ensure that you are accountable. Accountability goes a long way in maintaining, respect and in nurturing relationships to grow. So, very quick. Our question of the day is, what's your tip that you would like to share with me that I can add to my 3 tips, to help me be even better at making, usage of my time and in essence being more productive? Guys, don't stop talking to me in the comment section. I really, really miss hearing your input on the things that I'm covering. So today, share tips with me on how you make better use of your time in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you. Otherwise, I think that's it. As I leave real quick, the real last thing is this. We all want to be better. We all want to grow. I know you want to grow. I know you want to push past the level that you're at. God knows I do. but this comes with hard work, it comes with commitment, it comes with getting out of your comfort zone. So if you're watching this and you know that you need to make better use of your time, I beg of you, apply these 3 tips. Create a routine, set boundaries, on the usage of phone, or you know better, but set boundaries on usage of your time. And then lastly, have a daily to-do list. I'm so thankful that you have been able to join me today. If you have not yet hit subscribe and this is the first time that you're watching me, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any of the lovely content that I share on this channel. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Thank you and God bless. Bye.